Hi, and welcome to Paper Root Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm sharing with you how some of my base pages get started. All right, so I am going to show you guys how I get started with some of my base pages. So if you're not familiar with the term base pages, I don't know where it originally came from. I started calling them that after I started watching Janet Madison on RTS Scrapbooking. I have always kind of done this, but I don't think I ever had a term for it before. So I've always kind of made pages that I didn't have photos for necessarily yet, but I just wanted to put the page together. So there's a couple of reasons why I do that. One of them is sometimes I have a kit that I've purchased from, say, Close to My Heart or from a store, and I just want to put the page together, but I'm not really sure what I want to put on it yet. So I'll do that. Sometimes that's a convenient thing to bring to a crop and just build the pages and not really worry about what the story is going to be yet. Another reason that I do it is what we're going to talk about today, which is that I have leftovers from a kit or a collection that I'm not really sure what to do with. I'm kind of finished with that collection, but I don't want to get rid of it because I still really like the paper or the embellishments or whatever. And so I put together a couple of base pages. So I am going to, so this is what I'm working with today, is the Boho Sunshine, what's left of it. I've used quite a bit of this already. I have made at least 7 layouts with it. This isn't for everybody. I realize a lot of people are like, 7 layouts and I'm done. I'm going to get rid of the rest. And that's fine. And sometimes I do that too. It just really depends on where I'm at. Whether I really still love the collection or I'm over it or I just don't feel it anymore or I just don't have time for it. Sometimes I'll pass it on to someone else. However, with this one, I hung on to it because I really like it and I thought I could totally make base pages with this and then add some photos later. So for the time being, I feel like I've put all of the photos together that I wanted to scrapbook with this collection, but that doesn't mean that I won't have other photos in the future that I want to put on, scrapbook with. So, and sometimes I don't make the connection until later, but we'll talk about that another time. So here's where I'm coming from. So I have this collection kit. I don't have a single 12 by 12 paper left. I have this one that it looks like I cut a part out of. And so it's almost a full sheet, but not quite. Sorry, we have a little bit of a sunshine area happening over there. That's okay. You gotta love the sun. It doesn't last forever, right? Okay, so this is the biggest piece that I have. Then I have another cut apart that looks like I've cut quite a bit out of it, but there's still a little bit left. There's still cut aparts on the other side. I have these other bigger pieces. I have this happy face with the dots on the back and this floral that has these fun, kind of like the sheet that tells you the whole story of the collection, right? So it's like a boho themed summer vibe. So it's got like the flower bracelets, mushrooms, flower glasses, peace symbols, records, rainbows, cameras, roller skates, record players, that sort of idea. So all the things are on there. That kind of shows you like what's the collection all about. The don't worry, be happy face. This is probably the next biggest piece that I have. And then from there, it's just like there's a couple of tags. And then I have my scrappy pieces. Okay. So when I do this, I do not have something specific in mind. I'm not telling a specific story. I'm not gearing up to scrapbook a certain photo. I just feel like I want to be creative. I just want to play with my paper. Okay. So what I did was I took this over to my kind of like rainbow papers and chose a few papers that I think would make good backgrounds that coordinate with these papers. So I grabbed a yellow grid that matches. I grabbed this kind of brown with a little bit of a red tint that kind of goes with the collection as a wood grain. And then I grabbed this cardstock piece that has these embossed hatched lines on them, which I think will be kind of fun. This is an old Coordinations one. So those are the 3 bases I'm going to be working with today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of take stock of what I have. I'm going to kind of lay them out across these pages here. That is kind of really annoying. Hang on, I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to switch up the lighting because that that sunshine was really pouring in, and I don't have actually a window covering up there that's conducive to filming. So I have like this, anyway, it's a half window at the top. I don't know. It doesn't have a white covering for it. So anyway, I try. So here we have, so I'm just going to kind of put out what we have. So I'm going to pick a big piece for each one. So do I want that with those? With that? I kind of like these 2 together. What do I like with this one? Do I like that? Or, yeah, I like that one. Okay, and then we have this one that I could use all of those fun things. And then we have another yellow piece. This piece I think would go cute over here. And so I'm not making a layout yet. I'm just kind of dispersing it across the few pages that we have laid out here. What's this? Oh, a square. Interesting. That's cute. I love that stripe. I wanted like 10 of those. I tried to use them on every layout. Okay, so then I'm gonna just put aside my little branding strips. What else do I have? I have more branding strips. I have some tags, and then I have some smaller bits. So are these actual 2x2 squares? I think they are. I must have done something with 2x2 for this layout, which I think is going to turn into something. So hang on with that idea. Here's another one. Here's another tag, and another tag, and another tag. Oh, good. We can do something with tags for sure. More tags. Here's another one. I don't know if that can be cut right down to 2x2, but maybe. Ooh, I like this rainbow. I could use that as an embellishment. And a strip of this floral. And where was this one? This one was this. Okay, so I'm going to set these ones aside for a second. And I'm just going to like stack these up. I'm going to put my little stuff up there. Stack these up. Set them aside, and I'm going to start with this big yellow sheet. So I think I'm going to cut this down to about 3. So I'm just going to cut that down to a 3x12. Maybe 4x12. Do I want 4x12? Let's do in the middle, 3.5. 3.5. 3 looked a little bit too small. Let's go with 3.5. So I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. And then I think I'm going to put these guys up here. And I think I'm going to cut a little bit of this and put that up there as well. So it's kind of like framing the layout. And we have a basic horizontal layout. So like that and like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it didn't take much to like throw that together, right? And then I usually do go ahead and ink the edges before I put them down because I know that that's usually something that I do. And so I usually just pick one of my generic colors. Right now I just happen to have black sitting on my desk. I didn't even go looking for a color for this. I just kind of turned on the camera. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about what inspired me to make this video. So a couple of things actually. So the other day I was teaching a class at my local scrapbook store. And my friend Gail said to me, Nadine, do you keep the scraps after you're finished teaching a class? Like, do you keep the scraps from that collection and do something with them? And I told her, I said, honestly, no, not always. I often will just take them to a retreat and leave them on the make and take table, or give and take table, I guess it's called. Give and take? Give and take. And then I said, but sometimes I use them. Sometimes I like to use it till the bitter end. So that was that, and got me thinking that I had a few of these kind of in my craft room, and I should probably decide, keep it or toss it kind of a thing, right? Get it out of my space if I'm not going to use it. And if I am, then I should put it into a form that is going to get used and not necessarily just leaving a bunch of scraps laying around. Because these collection kits, once they're cut down like that, they still take up quite a bit of space in your craft room, right? But as we all know, I like to buy new things. I don't want to just have a room full of old things that I've partially used. Well, I like to buy new stuff, but to buy new stuff, I need to make space. It has to be somewhere to put it. So I'm just kind of lining that up with the ledger. I'm going to do the same with this one. And then about a week later, after that class was done, Ginger, over on Ginger's Corner, she has a YouTube channel I'll link down below, and she also does the swaps that I talk about. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll see scraps to embellishments videos that are all about taking your scraps and turning them into embellishment pieces, and then we swap them with other people. So she's the hostess of that, and as well. So she also will sometimes organize like hops. So she's the one, obviously, that does the scraps to embellishments hop. And then she also, I think I'm going to use this up here. She also, what was I going to say? Oh, so she invited me and a bunch of other ladies to join in with a YouTube hop that involves using the base pages that you make. So I'm not hurting for base pages. I have a whole bin full that I'll share with you guys probably in my next video in this series. But I thought I kind of wanted to back up a little bit and start here. I wanted to start with showing you guys, like, where do the base pages come from? Well, this is one of the ways that they end up in my stash. So here we go. So here's my Good Vibes base page. Now, I have a ton of other little things here. That's totally fine. I'm going to stop there, and this is going to be my base page. It's going to go into the base page box, okay? So, when Ginger posted that, it gave me that idea. It made me remember that I was answering Gail's question and thinking about the collections that I kind of had finished from a class, but still had some leftovers, and I didn't want to get rid of them because I think that they're awesome. And I still want to use the pages or the papers, but I'm not sure where at the moment. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some base pages. So these are the scraps that I had dicking around with that. I do want to look at these and see if there's anything that I'm super attached to, but I don't really think so. So I'm going to cut a 6-inch strip. Just going to cut down the middle. I'm going to leave these ones as cut aparts and just set them aside. And then I'm going to do this. And that. That's kind of a half and half, I would say. Yes-ish. Unless I do it like this and make it an L design. I don't know. Should I? No, I don't like it. So that I'm not really a fan of. I got black ink on here. So I'm going to cut that down a little. Just going to cut 1 inch off of this. So now it'll be a 5 by 12 to take that black ink off of the corner. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to ink the edges of this. I'm just going to do it away from my paper because this sponge thingy, foam thing, seems to be pilling already, even though I think I had just changed this one. But I do have 2 black soot, so maybe I changed the other one. Just about threw it on the floor. So then I was thinking, you know what? This would be a really good place to start for that that YouTube hop, is to show you how I put together base pages from the scraps of a collection kit. And then we can go from there. Instead of just pulling out the base pages and creating with them, how about we back up a little bit and see where did the base pages come from? Yeah. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's where my brain was at when I decided to go ahead and do this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you'll like, and if you're not interested in this part of it, that's totally cool too. Just come and watch me put together the base pages. That's fine. But I just thought this would be a good place to start. And at the moment, we're a bit far away from the actual YouTube hop, but I'll probably not post this until closer to that date. But that's fine, because I want to get this stuff off my desk. So I'll just make the video now and post it later. Nothing wrong with that, right? Tack that down too. This one was a little bit crooked at the bottom, but that's okay, because I'm going to cover it up with this angled piece that I had left over. And that's kind of the fun thing about using up the scraps too, is that sometimes they're already like in like interesting shapes and sizes and whatnot. And you are golden. Oh yeah. Okay. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. So I want it to be my border piece, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match it up so that the 2 stripe pieces kind of overlap. Oh, hang on, missed a step. So I'm going to cut the yellow off. There we go. And then I'm going to just match up the blue on blue so that it makes that, and you can't even really tell, right? Because you're matching up the stripes. See how that works? So that's one of my tricks for using scraps, is especially with stripes, you can always line them up so that they don't look like there's a gap. So there we go. And then that'll just tuck under there. So I will run some adhesive on there. under like so. There we go. And then I'm going to just trim a little bit because it looks like it's hanging over at the edge here. It looks like I purchased this wood grain paper from Treasured Memories. I wrote it on the back so I wouldn't forget. Used to be a store north of here, and they closed. And now she just makes her own papers, which is kind of cool. And if you're interested in that, it's called Simply Stated Designs. She has beautiful stuff. If you want to see some samples of it, what's her name? Sarah Scraps does videos for that company. Let me see. Do I have a piece? I don't want to frame this or mat this, but I need something big enough. How about I just put a tiny bit of adhesive on there for now and then tack it down, and then maybe I'll grab some cardstock or something later. Okay, so that's my second base page. There we go. You are golden. Really good way to use up your cut-aparts too. This on these. Okay, now my third one is another one that's going to use this big chunk of paper. Let's see what we got here. But I kind of like the cut-aparts. I still have this that I didn't end up using on the last one. So we could do something like that. And then we still have this piece, which I haven't used. So let's do that. Okay. Well, the neighbors are doing their yard work. Yay them. Sorry if you can hear that. Okay, so we'll ink some edges here. And then we will glue these down, and I'll show you the 3 pages that I made. And then, like I said, I'll pause the camera, I'll use up the smaller bits, and then I'll come back and show you guys how I did that. These are cute too, these happy faces. The other thing too about doing this is that by this point in the collection, I've used pretty much everything that I was really loving from the collection, like the really big, bold, like this stripe paper, for example. I've used it on literally every layout, so I'm not sad if I'm using the other side, or, you know, whatever the case may be, or covering a bunch of stuff up, or, you know, that sort of thing, because I've probably already snagged whatever was most important to me in the first, you know, 6 or 7 layouts, whatever I did accomplish with this. And then I think I'm going to do some Good Vibes. There we go. I do like that. And I do think I'm going to put it down here, because I think I'm going to also show you one more thing, and that is to take your papers, scrap papers, and make use of the symbols that are on them and turn them into fun embellishments. So I know a lot of people balk at fussy cutting, but like this is not going to take me long. You know what I'm saying? And I always leave that little bit of a white edge around, and I like the white edge. I know some people don't, but it gives me a lot of leeway when it comes to fussy cutting because I don't have to be super perfect. Okay, so see that? Love that. So that's going to go up there in the corner, but again, I'm just going to tack it down really lightly with a tiny bit of adhesive so that if I want to lift it, move it, tuck things under it, I can. There we go. So just get that out of the way. So there we have a few base pages from the leftovers from that collection kit. So we have Good Vibes, we have You Are Golden, and we have another Good Vibes. So the chances of these all going in the same album are slim. So it's okay that two of them have the same title. So those are my 3 base pages that I made with you today. I'm going to pause the camera and I'll come back and show you what I've done with all of the tinier scraps from the kit. Okay, so hang on and I will be right back. Okay, so as I mentioned, as I was going through the scraps of that end of the collection pack, I noticed a few themes. So one of the themes was that there was already papers cut into 2x2 squares as well as some 2x2 cut apart pieces. So the first thing I did was I made sure I had 25 2x2 squares, and I grabbed a piece of, so it's this patterned paper, it's old, it's from Making Memories, just out of my rainbow papers, and it coordinated with the collection. So I put a 5x5 grid of 2x2 squares onto that background, and it turned out really great. So, and then I added some embellishment, but we'll talk about that at the end. I also used my punches on some of the smaller scraps. So you can see some heart punches here. I had this little like circle punch from Stampin' Up, and I got some little sunshines on there. They turned out pretty cute. And then yeah, so that was another base page that I made. And then one of the other trends that I saw in my scraps was that there was still a lot of pieces left from the tag sheet. So I cut out a bunch of the tags and I just made like a border along the left side. And then that leads me, because we're still on this layout, to another trend that I saw, which was these like strips of paper. So like strips of paper, but some of them were bigger, some of them were narrower. So the bigger ones, I took this punch to them, and it's just a ticket shape punch. And so that allowed me to take some smaller, like this piece, and instead of just putting a strip of paper there, I made a little strip of tags, which is kind of cute and different and fun. And then used that same kind of idea up here from a few different like scrappy pieces, right? So let's see. So like this piece, and then some more of like these pieces here. Okay, so I did that. I punched a whole bunch of these actually, and I'll show you what I did with the rest of them. And then I took the other smaller strips and just made this kind of like, I'm imagining it as a photo spot. Like I would put my photo here, photo mat, and it just adds all of those colors in and uses up the rest of the paper strips and like the narrow strips and then the border strips. Is that what they're called? What do we call them? Branding strips? Branding strips? I don't know. Anyway, and then because I wanted something here, but I didn't have anything left that was a full 12 by 12, I grabbed a piece of washi and stuck a piece of yellow washi across the top of that piece of paper. And that was kind of it for those. So then I went and grabbed the rest of my tags, cut them out. I grabbed some of those cut apart pieces and fussy cut different shapes out of them, and did some more punching too. So this was cut out of the tag, so like it said hello, and I just fussy cut that out of there and then put it as my title. This is another one of the tags. I added it as an embellishment, and then a sticker. And then see these little, like, so from this paper, I again took that tiny little circle punch and I punched out some flowers and just added them on there too. And then on the tags, some of the tags got eyelets and twine. So that's one of the base pages. Then this one, I took what was left of our puffy stickers from the collection that I had and added some of those on and added some of the flat stickers from the sticker sheet. And here's another one of those punched pieces from the scraps. This one I added some of the word strip stickers. Actually, I think all the pages got some word strip stickers because there was quite a few left. And the title for this one came from the sticker sheet as well. Then, oh, there's like a random piece of acetate there, probably from the enamel dots. Then this one, so this is one of the cut aparts that I cut this piece out of and made it into like an embellishment. And then one of the puffy sticker or foam stickers and another one of those punched pieces. This is from the sticker sheet. Some more of those word strips. And then I took one of those punched out little flowers and put it as my tag, covered my tag hole there. This one is where I used up the rest of those punched pieces because this side seemed pretty dull. And so I tucked in a whole bunch of those punched pieces and made a little border of them. And I really like how this turned out. So great way to use up those scraps. And then this is a fussy cut piece out of a cut apart card. This is from the sticker sheet. This is from the foam stickers. Here's another tag. This was already on here, and then instead of matting it with like random cardstock, I went and grabbed, this was from the cut apart sheet, this was from the tag sheet, and then I kind of layered them up. Sticker, these are from the sticker sheet. Here's another one of those punched pieces tucked in there. And so I added an eyelet and twine there as well. And then this one, again, I just added on what I had. So this was already here, but then I took one of the cut apart cards and layered it under there and then put some other things on there. So word strip, foam sticker, another one of those punched sunshines. This one got the last of the enamel dots, so I had 5 left. There's 2 over here and 3 over here. And then here's a sticker that I popped up on some foam. Here's another one of those punched pieces. Sticker sheet, sticker sheet. Here's another, those 3 more of those punched floral pieces, and then another foam sticker. So I got all of the things I think used up from this collection kit. This is what's left on my desk. So this is my, so like you can see where I punched some things out of there, fussy cut and punched, another fussy cut piece, another fussy cut piece with a couple punches. And then we have all those narrow pieces that got the kind of the tag punch out of them. So some of them were pretty tiny pieces, but they still punched that little ticket shape really well. There we go. Another idea with those is to do circles, because if you could get like a 1-inch circle punch on there, that'd be fun. This was like a random piece that I punched a heart, one of the hearts that you saw in one of the layouts. And then I guess like this is all that was really left behind. So a few of those floral punched pieces, a ticket, one that I cut to tuck under, and then a couple strips left. So not really anything left behind. And then as far as my embellishments go, like I said, I got all the enamel dots on there. All of the foam stickers were done. And then I have one sticker left of flip-flop, so I'll just store that with it, maybe if one of the layouts has a spot where I can add those, then I will do that. And so that is how I made some base pages with what was left over of the Boho Sunshine collection from Simple Stories. So that got me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And like I said, I don't have any photos that I really feel like I want to put with these at the moment, but I will tuck these away. And then when we go ahead and do our series with Ginger's Corner, I will go through and these will be in the box with the other ones that I have. So that's just one of the ways that I make some base pages to tuck away and readdress later in the future. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have a question or comment, just leave it down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. There will be another video coming up in this series that'll show how I store the base pages, and it will also show how I choose what photos to add on to the base page. So that will be what comes next before we start actually using up some of those base pages with Ginger's Corner. All right. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you all have a great day. Bye for now.